Welcome to Political Cipher with Q. I'm your host, and we're going to have Quandra Gaines, and we're going to have a great show. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for Political Cipher with Q. I am your host, Quandra Gaines, and tonight we're going to be talking about tow truck drivers in Prince George's County. And let us bring on Mr. Bruce Branch.
Good afternoon, everyone. When you think of tow trucks, you think about your car on the side of the road being wrecked. When you think of tow trucks, you think about that unwanted ticket that you receive in a commercial parking place or somewhere where you shouldn't have parked. When you think of tow trucks, rarely do you think of them not being able to ply their trade in a county that's predominantly African American. Tonight, you're going to meet one of those tow truck drivers, Mr. Valintino Hines, who took part in a rally and protest earlier this week against the police and their practices of what they call the police list for towing. And so tonight we'll examine this issue. Why is it so difficult for African Americans to get it to become pliers of their craft on the highways of Prince George's County? The same drivers have been there for more than 20 years. And the list never opens when you have to go through a lot of changes to get even opportunity to apply. Tino Hines knows this story much too well. And I like
to bring on Mr. Hines. Good evening, Mr. Hines. How are you?
Getting yourself.
Well, Branch, I know earlier this week there was you guys did some marvelous things in Prince George's County.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, and then we're going to go on with the questioning.
Okay. Yes, my name is Valintino Hines. I'm the owner of Tino's Towing. I've been towing all my life. I love it. It's a dream. I'm trying to business for my kids and everything, and just let them know that we can accomplish anything that we need to accomplish, no matter what color our skin is or anything. So I have people that's looking up to me, and it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough running a tow business. Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Branch.
What are the major obstacles? Could you explain to them what are the major obstacles? I know we had a rally this week, and explain to them what's the difference between what you do in the police list, and might I add, and you can explain some of your qualifications. I know your grandmother was a council, is or was a council person in Fairmont Heights, Maryland. I do know that you run a credible business. I've heard you. You didn't ask me. I just happen to be what they call on the streets ear hustler from time to time.
Yes,
when people couldn't pay for their vehicles, you released them anyway. So a lot of tow truck drivers have a bad rap, but you're not one of those companies. And this is different. And you tow for several municipalities. Which one?
Yes, sir. I tow for Fairmont Heights Police Department, New Carrollton Police Department, Capitol Heights Police Department, and I'm trying to get more. But I'm always kind of blocked.
Okay.
Because of it.
Explain to me what you mean by blocked. Because you told me several officers have called and asked you in particular.
Okay, so even with the police departments, we still go by the same way the county goes through things. And like the county called me tonight. Said, hey, Tino, you always answer your phone no matter what. You always the other big companies that I'm hearing out there, they can't get them at times, and they like, so why aren't you on the list? Like, I did everything I was supposed to do to try to get on the county list, but it's just I don't know what's going on. I went to Mr. Bruce. He was trying to help me and guide me. That's why we're here today. and it's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Out of more than 30 drivers, there are two African Americans. One just got on because he bought his business. So the police, could you explain how the police list is different than the regular list?
Well, the regular list, they actually give us a chance, like New Carrollton and Capitol Heights. They thought I was a young black man trying to do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
bring up with me and stuff like that. So they gave me a chance, but the county, they won't. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They won't give me a chance, and everything I have, my I's are dotted, my T's are crossed. So I don't understand what's like. I watch other companies came up after me, and they're way further than me.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that you are being discriminated against?
Color of my skin, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or my age, or I mean, that's the only two things that I can think of right now.
Okay.
And when you guys, if a crash happens right in front of your establishment and you're right there, you're not able to touch that vehicle. Is that correct?
Yeah, matter of fact, I had a crash in front of my building. It's probably about a year though. Right in front of on Sheriff. My ladder's
Mm-hmm.
off of Sheriff Road in Capitol Heights, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Actually happened right in front of me, and then the PD county officers came up. I just went out there, I saw it, and I was actually helping the people before they even. And they said, "No, we're gonna call our own crane." And all that. Like I said, it's been about a year. I didn't get no damage,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying I'm letting them know that at that time I didn't really know how it works 100%. But I'm like, I'm on the list. County
Mm-hmm.
calls me like, and I'm here. Wouldn't let me tow it. They called their own crane.
And
So
this
what
is
are you
a
gonna
very
do? So what are you gonna do about it? What did you do about it? You said you went to Mr. Branch, and what else did you do?
We did all. He guided me. We did all the licenses and
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, we sent letters. I had my chief, the police department that I already told for. I had them
Mm-hmm.
send letters of recommendation for us and everything. We never had anything back.
Hmm.
and,
So.
and this is different. This is a very lucrative list. For
Okay.
instance, and Tito, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that if I tow a car, you'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised at the number of people who don't come back and get the car. Would that be an accurate assessment, Mr. Hines?
They leave the cars on us, and it's time that plus I have a heart. I can't speak for all the other tow companies, but I do have a heart. Some people come with an impoundment fee in Maryland, Prince George County is $215. And I've had people, elderly people, and the world is rough right now for money.
Mm-hmm.
So I will release a car. I'll take $25, $30, and I have even given cars back, as long as they get the proper documents, so I can release it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carrollton, they have release forms and stuff like that. As long as you bring me everything right, I try to help out people as much as I can, but we still have to stay in business too.
True.
But it's just, I think we can make a change if they let us on the list. That's honest. That's the best I can think. If I'm on the list, I can 90% of the customers that come to me, they're mad when they come,
Mm-hmm.
they're happy when they my customers that pick their cars, they're calling me for just regular tolls.
Mm-hmm.
Back. Because we're a good company, we make people, because it's kind of a rough situation when your car gets towed, like the police. They're already automatically mad and
Mm-hmm.
tow my car so like that. But we make them feel like family uh, after they pay their bill. I can If I knew this would happen, I would have had quite a few of the people call me here with me. But
Okay. So how has this blackout impact your business?
a lot, a lot, because I could be. Like my oldest son is 18 years old. He's talking about going to the army, which is nothing wrong with that. But I want to be able to have. I'm trying to pave the way for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be football, it might not be basketball or anything like that, but I'm doing the best thing that I can to keep these young black people off the street,
Okay.
give them an opportunity to do something else. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when it's always a stop sign everywhere you look at stuff. It's really hard. It's frustrating.
And our county in particular, Quandra, has one of the worst records for minority contracting, not only in the state, but in the United States. And one of the things they've been contemplating is a lawsuit. They've talked to the county exec, they've talked to chairman of the Black Caucus, they've talked to different council people. We've talked to the police chief, who was very supportive, and everybody passes the buck. Everybody says, "Oh, we're going to look into this," but at the end of the day, nothing ever happens. The police list hasn't been open since they blamed the pandemic since 2019. Before then, it's only been open before that one every 10 years. Anybody who has a modicum of sense of how contracting work in government circles knows something is amiss with that. And so what we have to do is we have to remain vigilant. We have to keep the pressure on, and we have to make the public know what is going on with their tax dollars. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of confrontations between African American tow truck drivers and the police who want the cars that are being towed to go to their personal friends, in violation of the law, might I add.
Preach on.
Okay. So what we have to do is make the public aware. What we have to do is to continue to put pressure on the powers that be. I don't understand how people can sleep at night and say they represent the interests of African American people when this segment of the minority contracting community is being totally shunned, and, to be honest with you, racially discriminated against. And that is fundamentally wrong. And we're going to stand up, and we're going to continue. I'm going to continue to help them in their fight for justice. I want to add one more thing. Senator C. Anthony Muse from the 26th District, he has committed to serving as a liaison between the county, state, and the police in an effort to work this out in an amiable way, and they get the contracts that they so richly deserve.
Okay, so now can you describe exactly what happened when you had your rally?
Well, we had the media out there, but basically the focus, as Mr. Hines will tell you.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr. Booth, but they blocked us. We were on our way. We got word that they blocked the street. They blocked us, but we still stood there together and strong. They blocked us. They wouldn't even let us pull in the parking lot. But we're not going to give up. We still, Mr. Bruce said, "Hey, look, we still going to fight." And one of my mentors was Charlie Walker. He's the one that taught me about the police department and everything like that. And he never went for it because he was scared. He just did the town police. Scared. But before he died, he told me, "Tino, Valintino," but he called me Tino, "don't you give up. You fight for what you know that you deserve." And one time, and the good Lord took me to Mr. Bruce and Cornelius, and I'm not going to give up. I don't care. I'm not going to give up. We deserve the same rights as everybody else. We work. Every job is supposed to be there within 30 minutes. We there in 20. And he did tell me this. He said, "A black man has to work 3 times as hard, and I'm willing to do it. Until the last breath of my body's gone, I'm going to do it because my kids are going to have somewhere to go, and other people's kids, that they can go and make some honest living like everybody else." So I'm sorry.
Quandra, the other element of this is the practical element. A lot of these guys are hiring returning citizens. They're hiring people who otherwise would not have an opportunity to feed their families, so they have to turn to a life of crime. This is to me, this is a simple fix. Allow them, even if they're there, if a customer, and Cornelius brought this out at the rally, if a customer requests, you could have been a long-time customer for 10 years. But if you get in an accident on the streets of Prince George's County, they determine who.
You know what they call
Go ahead, bro.
They call it soliciting, like I'm a drunk in front of a liquor store and I'm running an honest business. They call that soliciting. If a person called me, like Mr. Bruce just said, said say you was in an accident. You know my number in your head now. Say if you called me for a tow job, you just was in an accident. You call me. This is your car. You paid for it. You spent $40,000. I don't care if you spent $1,000 for it. You paid for your own car, and you said I got my tow truck on the way. I understand if it's a certain amount of time I need to be there because they have to clean the street. I understand that, but these officers now they're just you get out of here. We call them our own claim, and you called us. You called us. It's your car. You pay insurance. You pay your taxes. When you need gas, you put it in there. So how somebody gonna tell you what to do with your own vehicle? I understand if it's impeding traffic or anything. I understand that part. But if you call your own car and you can limp it to the side or whatever, you're entitled to have whoever you want to tow your vehicle.
That's true. So how is it that the police department has that power to select who
tradition
locked up?
Tradition. It was a law many years ago, and they just never changed it.
Oh, okay.
And
no.
It's a very.
That's the thing. Sorry to cut you off, Mr. Bruce. That's the thing. Soliciting and somebody actually really calling you is two different things. So what they do is they just automatically they know their law. They automatically say you're soliciting. But if you really called me, you called me. It's nothing. You called me to tow your vehicle. So just so happened that I'm there before you, the officers or the police department. The fire department. If I'm there, they call me as soon as it happened. I'm here. So how can you say I need to leave? This person called me. It can be my aunt. It can be my grandmother. It can be just a friend. It can be a person I gave a car to and towed for that whole family. So how can you push me off of this tow job when you told me to? You actually called me to come because I've been in that situation, Mr. Bruce. I've been, like I said, in front of the lot. I didn't know these people. I was more there trying to help the people because it happened like right in front of me. I saw it. So I walked up and they said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" I had my Tino's towing shirt on. Oh, so you can tow my vehicle. And they told me I couldn't tow it. But the person has to, like I said, it wasn't 30 because we have 30 minutes to get to every call. The person told me to tow it. I wasn't soliciting. I don't do anything wrong because I'm trying to set a limit for my kids. Because people already look at us a certain, our color of our skin. Everybody in here knows how it is. The color of your skin, we're born with it, but it's our curse at times. So,
okay.
I told Charlie Walker I will not give up. They put the cuffs on me because I know I'm doing right. I'm not doing nothing wrong.
So how many companies are already on the police tow list right now?
Mr. Bruce is a little more better with that. We were talking about the county.
Yeah, just the county. It's about 30 people on the list.
Okay, and how many are African American owned towing companies?
2.
And the other ones that's been, not to cut you off, the other ones that's been on, they've been on there for 100 years. I hate to say it, like they won't give anybody a chance to show that they can do good.
They were laughing about it. It's a company. I was calling it Alley Cat. They got all kind of new vehicles now.
It came out of nowhere. I'm not that type to really throw him under the bus, like, because he's doing his job. Whatever he's doing it, and he's damn sure doing it well. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. But it's guys like us. Like I grew up in tow trucks. Like my whole life, that's all I know is tow trucks. And I do everything. We get our licenses. We pay our taxes. We help the poor. We feed. We try to do all of that. And these other people just come out of nowhere, and I know it. You know what it is. The company just comes out, and then they can just jump 10 times ahead of you. I've been working for 30 years now trying to get. Like I said, Charlie Walker. If you want to look him up, Charlie Walker. Charlie was like 8, passed away last year, but did everything by the book. Had all the town police, but for some reason he couldn't get on that county list. Something's blocking us. And I'm not going to do what you say for me to do just to get on the list. Because I don't know how to get on. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not going to do what you think I'm supposed to do or kiss you know what, to get on no list. We should all have an opportunity to have an equal way to be able to get on the list. Point blank.
So Bruce, with you working with the tow truck companies, the African American owned, what is your plan?
We're trying to engage. We're trying to engage Franklin Lee. He's from up your way. He's a great civil rights attorney, along with Donald Temple, to work on this case. This is a case that I think it's more political than anything else. All they have to do is open the list. Mm-hmm. What is the big thing about opening the list if nobody is getting paid? Just open the list and let everybody compete in an equitable way. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. I mean, and then a lot of these companies that are on the list, as I say, what's the rule? 21 days. If you don't pick your car up in 21 days because you don't have the money, they get to take it up to Pennsylvania and auction it off or sell it.
You sell it for
That's
scrap.
the whole.
Yep.
That's the whole key. That's why they want. It becomes a very lucrative business. 100 cars at about $5,000 to $10,000 is a good year, and some of these guys are doing many more than that. So that's the part of the business. Now they'll let you tow somebody's car and get who gets mad at an apartment complex in a no parking zone that you have a contract with. Mm-hmm. But for this police, which is the lucrative list, there's no hope for African.
That's what we going for. I'm going for with the white man. I'm sorry to say it, I just got to say that I'm going for what the white man got. We deserve it too. Of course we can go do private impounds, and then I got to worry about like I said, my son's 18 years. I can worry about him getting taxed or whatever. No, I want with the white man. That's what I want. We deserve it. We deserve it. Point blank, we deserve it.
All right. So on that note, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss your frustrations about this inequities, and we're going to talk about how different Prince George's County is different from DC and Montgomery County. So we'll see you soon.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Welcome back. Okay, so we've been talking some great discussion about the tow truck drivers in Prince George's County, the equities that they're facing. It seems like the good old boys are still doing what they've been doing for years, and we're trying to look at some solutions in which you and I or others that are in Prince George's County can actually act on and make our voices heard. So welcome back on that note. Now, Mr. Branch, can you tell me how Prince George's County is different than DC and Montgomery County? How is it that it's very different between these?
First come, first serve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, T.
I say you can't say it no better than that. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. I'm just.
No. I want you out there in the field. Come on.
You out there in the field. So it's a first come, first serve in Montgomery County and DC. So if your guy says, "Hey, I want him," he's calling you on the way. It's done.
You got it. Yep.
Or if you ride by and you see the accident and your credentials in order, yes.
You got it. You got it.
So why is it one county different than the other?
That's $1 million question. We know, and we've talked about it here. We know the sordid history of politics in Prince George's County and the state of Maryland, where somebody exchanges and change something else. And I have no concrete proof, but it's just the way the police officers act with them. I'm calling one of my cranes. Well, when did the police get in the crane business or or they get into these massive confrontations with the black drivers, and then they'll call another driver who's more than likely white, or working for a white company, a black driver working for a white company with whom they have a relationship. So this has been an ongoing dispute, in particular the last 10 years, up at the legislature, down at the county. It has reached the highest levels of government. That's why we're very, very excited about the new person that's taking over, a government-elect Wes Moore, that he can address some of the ills like this that have been things that are institutional racism, what it boils down to, and puts a glass ceiling on the amount of money that people like Mr. Hines can make.
Okay. Now, if Mr. Hines, if you had the opportunity to voice what it is that you would like to happen, and how can people? So I have a question. So if you're not on the list, and let's say I needed someone to tow, would I have to have the police department tell me who I'm going to have, or can I call you directly?
You suppose, like Mr. Bruce just said, as long as you got your credentials and everything right, like in Maryland, you're supposed to have a tow license, of course. Then, like, my tow company is 754 Tino's Towing. So, have the medallions on the truck and everything like that. So, I don't see why they would run me off, and I have my right credentials. I'm licensed in PG County. I paid, like I said, it was, I think it's $2,000 to get your license in Prince George's County, but you have to have a good background check. You have to have what's the other stuff we had to have? Good standards and bonds, and you know how much a tow truck costs? Just give me what do you think?
$45,000-$50,000.
How much?
$45,000-$50,000.
Times that time two.
Really, over $100,000.
100. That's why everybody who does get it, we have to work them, but they're blocking us. We get our credit right. This is what the most black people do. We get our credit right. We want to do something positive. We go buy a tow truck. Well, the average people that buy a tow truck, this is like I said, this is in my life, but they buy a tow truck $100,000, and then you been stopped at everything that you do, and you did everything right. That's $100. You know how much diesel is now?
$25 a gallon.
It sounds good. It's almost there, but it's $6 a gallon. Yes.
Okay.
Then you got to pay your driver, and in order to have a very good driver that's going to take care of your truck for one, take care of the property of the other people, whoever car you sold, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,200 a week that you have to pay a worker, a good worker. So, and they're just blocking us from everything else. You see, like, it doesn't add up. But I don't know. I'm just lost for words because it's not fair.
So, okay, so you have to get your credit right. You have to make an investment of $100,000 to $150,000 just in case something needs to be repaired or what have you.
You didn't even mention the lot where you got to tow the cars.
You know how much I pay for a lot? Lots in Prince George's County. And matter of fact, in lots in DC even more, but Maryland lots are the cheapest lot I've seen in Maryland was about $1,500, and we're paying more, but $1,500 a month for a lot that you can probably put 6 or 7 cars in. So we're spending all this money to get these lots that can hold 45 to 100 cars, but we can't get any work for it. They'll give us the licenses. They'll do all that. They'll give us the licenses because all of it is PG County. They'll give us the license. They'll do all that, but they won't let us get on the list.
Well, yeah, you're spending what, $2,500 on a license. You got to pay all this other stuff. So they're reaping the benefits of you paying them, but they're not giving you access to doing your jobs, or making money to feed your families and to be a sustainable company. So the question I also have, why is it that the other counties don't have a list? I mean, this is the first I've ever heard of police department
I think they have
giving you a license for a tow truck.
no, they have no. They do have licenses everywhere, but I think PG. Well, basically, what we're saying, PG County is the worst. I hate to say it that way, but because I know when you're in the tow truck world, you're in the tow truck world. So a couple of my friends is in other, counties and stuff like that, and that stuff is just like way easier. And they like, Tino, come up here. I'm like, I'm born and raised here, so why would I move? I'm just waiting for it to change, and hopefully it'll change. That's why we went and got Mr. Bruce. We gonna make it change, and then you too, man. We're gonna make it change.
Yes, we are gonna make a change. Now, can constituents at Prince George's County group up together and do a voice and stress?
Yeah, one of the things we want to do is one of the things that I've suggested they do is continue to let us go into Calvin Hawkins. At the Prince George's County, Mel Franklin, and this new council person, Wally Blagay, and of course the county executive. So, and my question to her, my question to her, it would be, what do you want your legacy to be? Is the county executive that stopped African American business or expanded African American businesses? And right now, across the board, not only with the tow truck drivers, you're seeing this in construction, you're seeing this in school renovations. African Americans just don't get their fair shot. However you want to explain it, whoever you want to blame it on, they're just not getting it, and that's wrong. And that's why I think we should meet them in federal court.
That's a good idea, but what can African American tow truck owners do now to bring some kind of...
What they're doing now is they're reaching out to all the elected officials, one last effort. And as I said, Senator Muse, he has his own plan. So we'll see how he does. And then we'll move with what I consider to be the last resort, which is engaging in litigation. But we need the entire community to back these brothers. A lot of people think tow truck drivers are bad, and I understand that because they've gotten their car towed. Some have not done good business, but these are not those guys. These are the guys who are out there when you got a bad tire that'll stop, work for AAA, work for many of the motor clubs, and they should be able to ply their trade in an honest and equitable way. And I can't reiterate that enough.
So now, where can people go to? Like for instance, let's say I wanted to voice my opinion and say I'm in support.
Call your local council person. If you don't know who that is, they can email me, and I'll put them in touch with the right people.
Okay. And what is your email?
Bruce Branch, BRUCE, branch like a tree, BRANCH, @live.com.
All right. So I hope that everyone that's out here that lives in Prince George's County, but I would also say those who don't, to voice their opinions, because it's not fair. And it just seems like in the news, police officers seem to be doing a lot of corrupt things and unequitable things. And when it plays a huge role.
Well, in Chief Aziz's defense, he's new. He's from Dallas, Texas. But at the same time, he met with us, so he knows the issues, and he had heard about the issues. But I think sometimes people are so overwhelmed with these wanton acts of violence that we now see in our neighborhood that their priorities change.
Okay, well, can I suggest this then? Well, if you see African American men doing their job towing, and if you support them, perhaps they can hire those individuals that are out here doing a life of crime.
My point precisely.
Yes. So
Tito wants to buy 3 trucks. Tito wants to buy 3 trucks to hire some people. And he said he's not going to buy the truck. Go ahead.
Come here. These are my kids.
Okay.
I'm not the average black people that
Hello.
my kids are here with me.
Right.
I'm fighting for them. It's not for me,
Okay.
and the next generation. So
Let
it's
me
not.
see.
Tell her shirt up. Put the shirt up. Tell her put the
Put
shirt
your
up
shirt
again.
up. Put your shirt
Move,
up.
come on.
I read my eyes out. I've been up for 2 days straight, and we're gonna get. If Tino's towing needed, we're gonna get it done.
Okay.
But
and we have the future right here.
there you go. That's what it's about. That's what it's about right there. Not just because they mad. I can walk out the street and find some other kids, and I'll do the same thing with them. So that's what it's about. But
So
they
we
have
have future businessmen right here.
Thank y'all. They were just as nervous.
So now I'm going to give you 10 minutes, Mr. Hines, to tell us what it is that you would like to see happen. And if there are any other opportunities for you to expand your business, what would it be?
To be honest, just be fair. Like, just be fair. I don't need even 10 minutes. I can give it in 5 more seconds. Just be fair. Give us a chance, and let me show you my work. And like I said, I can call the chief, the police department that I work for. They say, Tino, you one of a kind. At my age, I'm one of a kind.
Now, this is funny. You are working with other police departments, right? And you're doing the work, and they're like, yes. Wouldn't it make sense that they would listen to their counterparts of other police departments to do you're doing the job?
Anytime, like when we were going for PG County list again, they wrote recommendation letters and everything, but we never hear anything. Never hear anything. Like Mr. Said, they just brush us under the carpet.
That's always been an isolated unit.
Okay. So, all right. So you've told us that we should reach out to our council people to voice our opinions about equitable and fair practices towards African American owned tow companies. Another thing, we should also.
But to be honest, everything in PG County, just give people chances. A lot of people, like my mother died when I was 19 years old from, I can say this for they know my life story, from drugs and everything like that. I'm trying to do something different. All these kids, like, they don't understand it just because they did it in the past. That's what Mr. Bruce said. Like Mr. Cornelius, he have had a couple ex-cons or whatever, but they changed their life around. But they'll give them a driving license, but they won't let them work. Like, that doesn't make any sense. People, everybody deserves a second chance.
Okay.
And I only got one chance, and I still can't even do anything. Check my record. Run my record right now. I never even jaywalked. But I kind of feel where people come from when they came from jail. I'm blocked. So damn if I do that. Excuse my language. Daggone if I do, daggone if I don't.
Okay. So, Mr. Bruce, we're going to run this show, and we're going to keep running it throughout the holidays so that you can get the information, and we can get people involved to get to you by email, and we'll start maybe even looking at putting the list of all the council people and their delegates and their senators so that they can actually be proactive, because I'm hearing your frustration. You're getting up every morning and you're going to work. And when you have someone trying to narrow your access towards better business, more clients, that's a little disturbing. That's more than disturbing to me, because you have so many fathers like yourself, Black fathers out here doing their job, and then they'll wait, but they're not. Why isn't that the media is not really hammering in on this police department, knowing for well that most of these people who want to be on the list.
Let me give you an example.
Okay, give me an example.
And impartial media was supposed to be out there for the march, and they did show up, but the police blocked the entrance off and would not let them off the property, so they couldn't come over and interview us.
Okay, but see, is that not illegal?
Technically, yes.
Okay,
but
so
who's gonna challenge the police department? Who? in this county, the police department is going to be backed by your county exec. They're going to be backed by the council people. Nobody's going to challenge this police department. It took 10 years for them to get a settlement on a lawsuit for wrongdoing within their own department. So people outside the department have no chance. This was once one of the most corrupt police departments in the nation. When we had a lot of white officers, those white officers gone, but now we have a lot of young, green officers, and they don't really know the process. They don't know their own history. All they know is they got a job and they're police officers with a badge and a gun. And sometimes the two don't mix. And I'm really concerned because at some point this issue could blow up and we could have a very traumatic event on our hands.
Okay. So when you move forward, we continue to press. We're going to press forward, and we're going to pay it forward. They're not going to give up. They have about 20 or 30 minority business owners in their organization. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep fighting. At some point, I just hope the county just will do the right thing. That's all we ask.
Yeah, that's
nothing more, nothing less.
That's all.
But I have a question. Can't the state intervene? I mean, there's an MBE. Why can't the state?
The state can intervene on the state contracts. They can't intervene, or there will be. Now he can make a phone call, but he'll be reluctant to make a delegation in a jurisdiction, which is the county. And the politics of it is Angela supported this governor wholeheartedly and really helped him. So you have some dynamic relationships that sometimes will alter the right thing to do. And that's where we appear to be right now.
And that's all I'm asking. Just be fair. If I lose, like say if they do the bid like they used to do. If I lose, honestly, if I just lose, I'll wait the next 2 years or 4 years or whatever. Okay, I'll try again. Don't just block. It's like, come on now. That's not right. That's not right. They're like out of 30 tow truck companies that's on the list, there's only 2 that's black, and we're the minority in French County. That doesn't. I don't know the right word, but I'm being honest. Like you were saying the other day, Mr. Bruce, I didn't even know it. So he did real good research. He said it's 30, then he said it's only 2 black, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I know every time I go somewhere, I see a black person. Honestly, everywhere I go, I see a black person. Like, and it's only 2 black companies on there. Like that doesn't. Something's not right. Something's not right. And I know a lot of great officers and police, but like you say, they must not be up there high or something. I don't know what.
They have their own unit.
Yeah,
And they've been left to run their own unit, which has been like their own personal, to me, nest egg and power base for anything that they want to do. And they have done it, believe me. Yeah. Everything they have raided tow truck drivers' businesses when they complain.
That's why right now we're on the thing, but it is what it is. I got to stand up. I promised Mr. Charlie that I'm standing up. It is what it is.
So wait a minute. This police department has been able to do so they can go raid a tow truck driver. They can do whatever they want without any kind of oversight.
Yeah.
And who's your county executive?
Angela Olsenbrooks.
Okay, so we
have a new police chief, but like I say, he's trying to get his legs under him.
Okay.
And I think in his heart he wants to do well, but it's a big department with a lot of problems, as is Baltimore and every place else. But if they would just open the daggone thing out, or he'll put a memo and say if it's a customer's car, let them tow the daggone car.
So wait a minute, can they not expand the list from 30 to?
They can do whatever they want to. They can open the list up to everybody that's qualified.
Okay, now listen to this. I'm off of Sheriff Road, basically Capitol Heights. I don't know. Only other tow truck company around me is Chicago Crane. Like So I have seen other tow companies come from all the way up from Upper Marlboro to Towcom, and I'm right there in Capitol Heights. Like that doesn't make any sense. And I understand the town police that's different because
Mhm.
they're not as big as people. But if I'm in this area, why would
You
you
should
call
have
the tow
first bid. You should be the one who does the towing.
thing?
I understand.
Thing.
And that's why people on the highway for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, while they find one of their buddies to come tow.
Mm-hmm.
And that tow, it don't sound like much. It's usually worth about 170, Tito.
Police impoundments is one. I mean, it's 215. Private impounds is 175. Storage is $50 a day. You can charge for like extra work and clean. Depends how much stuff you really had to clean up because you
Mm-hmm.
or the stage driver. When it's an oil spill, hazard,
Mm-hmm.
you have to clean all those things up too. So that's where the extra work comes in. But the police impoundments are 215. Private impounds is 175. $50 a day storage, to my knowledge, with the law.
So what is your expected timeline now that there's a new police officer over the police department in Prince George's County?
We're trying to wait till West get in. We're waiting for West to get in place.
Okay, so
And
we're
for
saying
Senator Muse,
January
yeah,
the 18th.
yeah, and for Muse to do what he has to do down in Annapolis now.
Okay.
He's making those calls now.
So can we revisit the transition, bring people back to see how everything's
Yeah,
working out for them?
yes, we're going to keep pounding this issue
Okay.
until victory is won.
So victory is won. Okay. All right. So for those who are very interested in letting their voices be heard, please reach out to Mr. Bruce Branch at brucebranch@live.com. Oh my goodness, I remember it. Okay, that's wonderful. And on that behalf, Mr. Hines, I would like to invite you over again just to let us know what's going on, because I know Bruce is going to be right there. He loves the civil rights. He loves the equity. So that's going to be a wonderful thing. But the one thing I would also like to bring to attention, if a corrupt police department who has been known to be corrupted, maybe the county executive needs to rethink about putting that power to govern over that list somewhere else.
Yeah, we do have a new police accountability board. I've talked to a couple members, and they're taking place first of the year.
Is that O'Neill?
Hey, your good friend is on the police accountability board.
Okay, so yeah, we can really see some changes because he's
You know him.
And watching that the tow company until we get on the county list, no matter if on or off, you call us at 202-294-2950, and we on the way.
All right, then. So I want to thank you both for joining me tonight. I want to wish you and grant you a safe, prosperous, and happy New Year and Christmas. And like I said, we have open doors for you. Mr. Branch is on here either every week or every other week. So is there anything else you would like to say before we leave?
That's it.
All right.
Let's get it done.
You. Let's get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done. On that note, thank you for joining us for Political Cipher with Q. Have a wonderful and safe holiday, and we see you back next year. Goodbye.
Thank you.